So welcome back to a special episode of Selling Myself Short. Wanted to make this episode for my buddy Brad. This was a special request. This is what an extraordinarily dirty garage looks like. And summer is fast approaching. We're about 3 weeks away from Memorial Weekend, which is kind of the start of the lake season here in Tennessee, in East Tennessee anyway. And so I'm in the middle of all of my summertime projects, whether it's boat restorations over here, getting this jet ski ready to sell. It's been a lot of work, and I'm trying to reorganize the garage at the same time, which is why everything's in the floor, why there's no cars in here. But I just want to give you a quick show around of what I've been working on. Kind of why we're in this mess right here is actually we've gotten 20 or so inches of rain in the last month, which is a phenomenal amount for the month of April and beginning of May for us. So let's take a look around at the different projects that I'm working on. This is by far the biggest project that I'm working on, and it is the Supra that we purchased last August. And the boat was in really good shape. Structurally, it just needed to be cleaned up a little bit, and really, I kind of nitpick things a little bit, but the carpet was matted down. It's a 10-year-old boat. It's a 2007 Sunsport 24V, which was, that year they made, in this size, I think the 24 Sunsport and also the launch, and it's just slightly a different configuration in the bow with the seating. 325 horse Inmar fuel injected motor, and the boat originally when I got it had 18 speakers in it. 3 of those were subwoofers, a 15-inch kicker, 12-inch Kenwood, and a 12-inch kicker as well. So there was quite a bit of power in it, 3 different amps. One of them had blown up. I've since repaired the blown up amp, and basically I just wanted to go through the boat and fix a few things up. One of the major repairs that I'm working through are, you can see this was actually the worst of them all, but some of the seat cushions had started to deteriorate. You can actually see the cracks that started along this secondary insert in the vinyl, and also along where the cord is as well on a lot of the cushions. It had started to deteriorate. Overall, the cushions were fairly clean and in good shape. Maybe you can see on these, there's a little bit of darkening, but these are cushions that are actually over the motor compartment, so they get a little bit dirtier than normal, and that stuff cleans up. But so we decided, since all these cushions were kind of in okay shape, not great, instead of just repairing some of the spots that are actually bad, to just go ahead and do the whole thing. We've got a guy, interior vinyl guy, that does good work for us, so we're getting those redone, and I'll show you in just a moment. We've actually gotten some of the cushions back. We're taking a few up at a time, basically, just because it's 21 or so cushions that have to go to the guy, and instead of loading everything up on the trailer and taking it to him and cluttering up his shop, we're just doing a few at a time, and he's been doing a great job for us. We made a few changes. As you can see, this is a heavier textured gray here with even a darker gray piping, right? And then this whitish tan gray color here. We made a few changes. Hopefully you'll like it, but basically we made those because we wanted something a little more colorful to match the new vinyl wrap on the hull. And as you saw a moment ago, this is the vinyl that we had done on the hull. There was vinyl on it before, which here's a picture of that. We really didn't like the darker colors on it, just because that's not really kind of our style. And so we actually pulled that old vinyl wrap off, which also the vinyl wrap that was on it was 10 years old. So we pulled all the old carpet out, as you can see, and right through here, you actually, when you put it back in, you hide your seam below the furniture and that rubber trim piece along the bottom. So there's a glue, which was contact cement glue, which was up under the carpet before, and you have to use a chemical basically to get that out. So you put it on there, let it soak for a little bit, and scrape it right back out. That was a good motion. You scrape the old glue back out and dispose of that, and you have a nice clean surface. It's a slick gel coat, more or less, that's down there now, that will use a 3M90 strong adhesive contact spray to go back down with the new carpet. So yeah, the interior all came out. We wiped down all the fiberglass, cut the carpet out, getting the interior redone, got the wrap done. Everything's really straight. It comes out great. and I actually pulled the rubber out off so to hide the seam underneath. Normally they just cut along the top, which is great, but I had to clean this rubber out anyway and clean it up a little bit, so I decided to leave it off so they could hide everything underneath. Still have to put my snaps back in for my tonneau cover, which I really don't like the snap-based covers like this, because this is something you have to wash around every time. Or if you're sliding off the nose of the boat, you can see there's some snaps that go in the front here off the side. That's what catches your ass on the way down. Let's move on to the interior of the boat real quick and we'll take a look at that. Last but not least, this is the engine. So this is what a stripped out, whenever this portion actually sits underneath the rear seat. This is an Inmar Assault 325, which, like I said, it's actually a Chevy based 350 motor. It just has some Coast Guard approved things on it, such as spark arresters. It has a slightly different exhaust to it, different water pump, things like that. But basically it is a 350 block. Down here we have a transmission, and then that goes into our V-drive, which I'm not sure who makes these. At one time it was a Caterpillar V-drive. Pressure washed everything. Up on top here, this gray portion is the ballast pump system, which is a solenoid based pump system, so you can put water into different parts of the boat. So there's actually rubber sacks that sit in the back storage portions of the boat, so that if you're surfing or wakeboarding, you can make a larger wake. This boat already weighs 3,900 pounds, as it is the largest Supra that's made, so we really don't run a lot of ballast in this typically. It makes plenty of wake for anything that we want to do. So that's basically what's been done to the boat so far. Everything looks really good as far as structurally. It's going to clean up really nice. We'll get the boat back together. Carpet will go back in hopefully today, as long as everything works out. I'm cleaning up this area over here, all this junk. Anyway, get everything put back together and we will be back in the water in about 3 weeks. Next time you see this boat, it will be complete and running and clean. It'll look as good as possible, and it's going to look really good though, and hopefully it'll make somebody happy for the next owner. If you like this episode, please give me a thumbs up below, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I will see you all next time.